Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of SNL, Saturday Night Library Trivia. This series was created by Carrie Neighbor from the Pal Branch. I'm your host Mandy, also from the Pal Branch. Here are the rules. Today there are 3 rounds of trivia. Grab a piece of paper and a pen if you want. Feel free to pause this video at any time. There is no time limit. Don't cheat. And the prize for the winning person or team is they are clearly a genius. Today's categories are Round 1, Common Bonds, Round 2, Name That Tune, and Round 3, Star Trek. Okay, get ready! Alright, round 1 is Common Bonds. So what this is 10 questions. So you want to answer each question, but also the answers will lead you to a common category. So as you're answering these, try to think of the ways that each of these answers might go together, and then that's going to be like the bonus question. Question 1. What do we call the aura of plasma that surrounds the sun? Question 2. Only on the American flag, what are there exactly 7 of? On this one, be specific about color. Question 3. What name does Stanley Kowalski yell from the street up to his wife in A Streetcar Named Desire? Question 4. What is the name of the mountain range in which Mount Whitney lies? Question 5. What reference book detailing records of human and natural extremes was first published in 1955? If you're already starting to get the common bond, it makes the answers easier. You're like, oh, it's that one. Question 6. Who was a strong opponent of British taxation and helped formulate resistance to the Stamp Act and played a vital role in organizing the Boston Tea Party? Not a president, though. Never was. Question 7. What term is used when 2 full moons appear in the same calendar month? Question 8. What is the largest fresh surface water system on Earth? For people of Ohio, this should be a fairly easy question, I guess. I don't want to give away too much. Question 9. What is the name of the largest river and water course in Sonoma County, California? And question 10. Okay, this is it. Take a look at your answers and see what the common bond is. So the answers to the last 9 questions, you want to look at those and be like, how are these related? And you're going to come up with a one-word answer that's the common bond. Alright, so this is same thing concept-wise, but the common bond answer is different. Alright, here we go. Question 11. What is the name of the law-breaking character on The Simpsons, known for his jailbreaks and tattoos? A. Mad Dog, B. Butch, C. Fast Eddie, D. Snake. For once, I didn't even add the Simpsons question. This was Amber. I would, but I didn't. Question 12. Although there are other theories, how do most historians believe that the dictator Adolf Hitler died? A. Suicide. B. Plane crash. C. Execution. D. Killed in battle. Question 13. Which of these countries has been ruled by Anwar Sadat and Hosni Mubarak? I'm sorry. I got the first guy I've heard of. I'm not sure I've heard of the second guy. A. Jordan. B. Morocco. C. Israel. D. Egypt. Question 14. What is the last name of the comic actor who played Coach Calhoun in the movie Grease? A. Hope. B. Brooks. C. Chaplin. D. Caesar. Question 15. Which of these groups had a hit song in the 80s entitled Radio Gaga? A. Yes. B. Queen. C. REO Speedwagon. D. Foreigner. I love this band. Love. Question 16. Which of these rivers has two major tributaries known as White and Blue? A. The Nile. B. The Amazon. C. The Mississippi. D. The Yangtze. Mississippi. Question 17. What is the name of the only regular male character on Designing Women? A. Anthony. B. JD. C. Reese. D. Payne. Question 18. Which of these comic strips was created by Johnny Hart and features characters named Thor, Grog, and the Fat Broad? I think I resemble that remark. A. Boner's Ark. B. The Wizard of Id. C. BC. D. Croc. Question 19. Passion, White Diamonds, and Black Pearls are all fragrances created by whom? A. Giorgio Armani. B. Liz Claiborne. C. Elizabeth Taylor. D. Calvin Klein. Okay, question 20. This is it. Take a look at your answers, and a historical figure should pop into your head. The subject of museum, exhibits, college courses, movies, and more. Who is it? You got a clue on this one. The first one was a little harder. All right, round 2. Name that tune, so we're back to just answering basic questions. There's no common bond. So this is 3 song titles that all have the same missing word. Question 1. Never blank, blank to me, sweet blank. I'm not just like censoring my own cursing. This is the missing word. Question 2. Blank fever. I'm your blank man. Jungle blank. Question 3. Our blank in my blank brick blank. That top one is a perennial 80s classic. Question 4. Baker blank Positively fourth blank. Sentimental blank. Thought I knew this one. Well, I mean, I did the answers, obviously, but I don't remember this one. Question 5. We are blank, blank Turks, die blank. That sounds more nefarious than the answer actually is. Alright, part 2 is band name by image. So I'm going to show you some images and then you try to put that together to make the name of a popular band. Question 1. Or question 6. I forgot we did the other 5. Question 6. Question 7. The library this week opened back up for browsing, by the way, so I am recording from the Pal Branch today. If you hear any background music, we are busy. People are here. Come stop by and see us. I keep hearing little rustling outside. I'm like, oh, they're pulling stuff. They're doing stuff. Question 8. Question 9. And question 10. Alright, part 3 is song title by emoji. So I'm going to show you some emojis and you have to name the song title that it references. Question 11. Question 12. Question 13. Question 14. The clue to this one is knowing which flag that is. Question 15. Alright, part 4 is song title from an image. So I'm going to show you an image and you have to guess the name of the song based on that image. Question 1. I love the song and my husband absolutely hates it. The video's good too. Question 17. Question 18. Question 19. And question 20. A clue to this one is obviously knowing who that is. That guy. Okay, so round 3 is Star Trek. Little known, seldom used fact. I'm a big Star Trek fan. I'm a Trekkie. Most of these are going to be original series. I want to dedicate this round to a lovely library patron named Francine Butler. Miss Butler and I ran into each other at Kroger the other day, and she said, "Oh, I watch every week." I know for a fact that she is a huge Star Trek fan. So, Ms. Butler, this is for you. You are an awesome teacher and an awesome library patron. We really appreciate you guys. So, here we go. Question 1. What is the principle of Starfleet's prime directive? Is it diplomacy and nonviolence, non-intervention, providing assistance to those in need, or exploration and scientific study? Question 2. What is the name of the Klingon homeworld? Kronos, Klingonia, Anacreon, or Gorkon? Because these are mostly made-up words, if I pronounce them not the way that you pronounce them, I think we can both agree that we're right. These aren't like real names. Question 3. Hikaru Sulu held which position for the longest period of time aboard the USS Enterprise NCC 1701A? Helmsman, Chief Engineer, Science Officer, or Communications Officer? Question 4. What is the name of the species that compelled Captain Kirk and Lieutenant Uhura to kiss the first interracial kiss on a scripted US TV show? The Iconians, the Platonians, the Romulans, or the Kazons? This was a big deal. Apparently they didn't think it would get past the censor. So they said, okay, let's do a couple different takes, like one where Jim doesn't kiss Uhura, or one where they they think they're going to kiss and then they don't. And William Shatner purposely messed up all those other takes, so they had to use the kiss. Like, he would cross his eyes, or like make a weird look on his face, and they were like, okay, we have to do the kiss. And then it became the first interracial kiss on TV. Question 5. Which of the following was not a founding species of the United Federation of Planets, a collection of governments based on universal liberty and equality? The Vulcans, the Andorians, the Tellarites, or the Betazoids? That might be Tellurites, I'm not sure. Question 6. What is the purpose of the Vulcan rite of Kholinar? A purging of emotion, the temporary union of two minds, mating, or the transfer of one's consciousness into the body of another? All these other things have Vulcan names too. You gotta figure out the one that's this one. Question 7. In Gene Roddenberry's original treatment for Star Trek, what was the name of the starship? The Plymouth, the Reliant, the Enterprise, or the Yorktown? If you want a good cry and you like Star Trek, Google the Oatmeal comic Gene Roddenberry. It's very touching. It's about his, like, immediately after the war, and he survived this thing, and it kind of made his mental, some mental clarity for, like, difficult situations. It's really, really touching. If you like the series, Gene Roddenberry, the Oatmeal comic. Ugh, crying. It was really good. There's a great documentary, too, about him and kind of getting back in touch with his kids. He wasn't, like, a stellar dude. Like, he definitely, like, had cheated on his wife and stuff, but it's about them kind of reconciling and about his kids kind of interacting with the Star Trek universe. So, I forget what that one was called, but Trekkie Nation, maybe? That was maybe another documentary we watched, but, yeah. I'll have to remember what that's called. It was good. 8. Who was the first actor to play a member of all 3 of the major alien species in Star Trek? Mark Lenard, Jeffrey Hunter, Leonard Nimoy, or Christopher Lloyd? This is one of my favorite bit characters. Well, I should say bit characters, but guest stars on Star Trek. I love this guy. Question 9. Who was the first Vulcan science officer aboard the Starship Enterprise? T'Pol, Spock, Sarek, or Tuvok? This one's not, I don't think this is in original series. I think this is in Enterprise, maybe? I'm not a huge Next Generation fan. My favorite is definitely original series. And then the new one, Star Trek Discovery, is really good. We watched a bunch of that. And then I like Enterprise after that, maybe. I don't like Deep Space Nine very well. Yeah. The remake movies I thought were great. I don't know. Question 10. What alien species did Ronald Reagan say reminded him of Congress? The Vulcans, the Ferengi, the Klingons, or the Borg? Question 11. Which species was the first to discover the warp drive? The Klingons, the Borg, the humans, or the Vulcans? Question 12. Which Star Trek actor helped to create the Klingon language? Mark Lenard, Leonard Nimoy, James Doohan, or Michael Anzara? I thought this was super interesting. I did not know this. Question 13. Which character was adopted by the Vulcan ambassador Sarek? This is kind of a trick question. Spock, Michael Burnham, Sybok, or Sylvia Tilly? This is also kind of new canon, I guess. Question 14. What actor from Star Trek, the original series, lost his right middle finger during World War II? Leonard Nimoy, James Doohan, William Shatner, or DeForest Kelley? This is fun because when you're watching it, you kind of be like, oh, like they always tried to cover up that he was missing his middle finger or part of his middle finger, but every now and then there's like 3 shots where you can see it. Question 15. What is Lieutenant Uhura's first name? I already showed this on another slide, so trick question. Noyada, Anaya, Ephra, or Katura? Bonus point if you know what it means. Let's do that too. Question 16. Which state was the birthplace of Leonard McCoy? North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, or Texas? My undisputed favorite character from Star Trek. Not even close for everybody else. Question 17. What weapon did Kirk and Spock use when they fought for possession of T'Pring during Spock's Ponfar ritual in Amok Time? An episode I watched this week. The Kabar? The Mortaise? The Lirpa? Or the Mek'leth? I pronounced 3 of those 4 wrong. Question 18. I love this episode. If Edith Keeler doesn't die in the city on the edge of forever, what will happen? A virus will wipe out humanity, the timeline will unravel, Captain Kirk won't be born, or the Nazis will win the war. Oh, so good. This is a bones-heavy episode. Leonard McCoy, my undisputed favorite character. This is a really good Bones episode. It's a great episode. I think this is the only Star Trek episode ever nominated for an Emmy, but I don't think they won. Put in the comments if I'm wrong. I believe. I believe they did. Or they didn't, but it was nominated. Oh, it's so good. That was a tough one. Question 19. Whose quarters is this? Also, I'm not sure if quarters should be singular or plural. I looked it up. The whose is correct. Quarter is not often used. Quarters is almost always plural. So the grammar on this bothers me. Put it in the comments if I'm wrong. Ms. Butler, you may know specifically. But to the best of my ability, quarters is almost never singular. So whose quarters? Which quarters? That's even worse, I think. I don't know. Whose quarters is this? Clue is that thing on the right-hand side. That's the thing that may help you to know this. I love every episode where they show their quarters. It's always my favorite on original series. Similarly, whose quarters is this? They literally showed this quarters, I think, one episode, a single time. Sorry, this is really meta. This also might be my favorite picture, my favorite still from original series, so. Jim has like a safe under his bed. I don't know. The quarter, I love when they show the quarters. That's my favorite. Answers. Buttons. Yes. Round 1. Common bond. What do we call the aura of plasma that surrounds the sun? The corona. Question 2. On the American flag, what are there exactly 7 of? Red stripes. At this point, you may be guessing the common bond. 3. What is the name that he yells? It's Stella! Amber props who are doing the AAAA. 4. What is the mountain range in which Mount Whitney lies? Sierra Nevada. Again, you're probably guessing the bond. 5. What reference book details the records of humans and natural extremes? It is the Guinness Book of World Records, which is actually related to the brewery. There were enough bar bets that they eventually started to put them in books. 6. What term is used for 2 full moons? A blue moon. 7. Strong opponent of British taxation, Samuel Adams. 8. The largest freshwater surface system on Earth is the Great Lakes. 9. The name of the largest river and watercourse in Sonoma County is the Russian River. And the common bond is beer. The pictures that you see there that aren't the logos were a time that myself and another librarian, Andy, got to go to the Sam Adams Brewery. It was pretty cool. Pretty fun trip. All right, this is the second set of the common bond. The name of the character on The Simpsons is Snake. Hitler committed suicide. The country that has been ruled by these 2 rulers is Egypt. Again, you start to see the common bond. The last name of the comic actor who played Coach Calhoun is Caesar. Is it Sid Caesar? Put that in the comments. I'm not sure if it is or not. 15. Radio Gaga was Queen. 16. The major tributaries of white and blue are the Nile. 17. The answer of the regular male character on Designing Women was Antony. I think the last name paid, but it's Anthony, but in this case we're going to go Antony. 18, that comic is BC. 19, these are all fragrances from Elizabeth Taylor. And that means the common bond is Cleopatra. Or if you said Cleopatra, Mark Antony, if you said Shakespeare play, if you said something close to Cleopatra, you're good. All right, name that tune. Never Surrender, Surrender to Me, Sweet Surrender. I really thought this was Never Lie to Me, a Sweet Lie, but Sweet Lie probably isn't a song. 2 is Boogie Fever, I'm Your Boogeyman, and Jungle Boogie. 3 is Our House, In My House, and Brick House. I like Our House. That's a good one. 4 is Baker Street, Positively 4th Street, and Sentimental Street. That was the one that got me because I kept wanting to make it Sentimental Journey, the really old song. It's not. 5 is We Are Young, Young Turks, and Die Young. Please don't. 6 is Van Halen, so she's hailing a cab. 7 is Steely Dan. 8 is Snow Patrol, a band I don't think I've ever heard of. 9 is Stone Temple Pilots, I like that one. And 10 is Cheap Trick. 11, Baby One More Time. I think the more symbol. 12 is Poker Face. That last emoji, it's kind of a tough one, I think, because you were like, what's serious or something, but it's just generic face. 13 is Build Me Up, Buttercup. 14 is Don't Cry For Me, Argentina. You had to know that was Argentina. 15 is Sympathy for the Devil, a song that I like and my husband does not like. 16, Virtual Insanity. Virtual Insanity is what we're living in. I like that song. 16 is the Final Countdown. Sorry, I will stop singing now. 18 is Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding, a classic. That song doesn't make you cry. I think maybe your heart was removed at some point. It's beautiful. 19 is Buffalo Soldier by Bob Marley. And 20 is Rasputin by Bobby Farrell. Another song I don't think I know, but I knew that was Rasputin, so. Alright, Star Trek. This is where I get excited. Principles of Starfleet's Prime Directive are non-intervention. So you just don't mess stuff up. Don't do it. 2 is, the Klingon homeworld is Kronos, but that's, I think, how it's spelled in Klingon. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Klingon language here in a minute. 3, Hikaru Solo is a helmsman. I put science or a chief engineer because I apparently had a stroke or something. That's clearly Scotty. 4, the Platonians were the alien species that compelled Captain Kirk to kiss Uhura, but it was a good moment for TV history. 5, the Betazoids were not one of the founding species for the United Federation of Planets. I don't know if that's a real alien species in Star Trek. Tell me in the comments if it is or not. That might be a made-up thing. Part of these questions came off of PBS, and it was like history of TV kind of thing, so that might not be a real species. Not that any of these are real species, but you know. Okay. 6, the Kolinar is a purging of emotion. 7, originally, Gene Roddenberry wanted to call the starship the USS Yorktown. His idea was, he said it was, quote, a wagon train into space. That was his initial concept for Star Trek. 8, Mark Leonard. I love him. So he is best known as playing Sarek, Spock's father. If you haven't seen the episode where Bones meets Sarek, it's awesome. And then he also played a Romulan. Romulans and Vulcans have the same genetic heritage. They just split at some point, so that makes sense, right? And then he played a Klingon at the beginning of Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I have to assume that they did that just because he wanted a bit part or something, like in honor of the original show, because you definitely have to cover him up a bunch for him not to look like Sarek. Sarek's like a pretty big, character. Also, Spock's mom name? Amanda. My name? Amanda. Coincidence? Yes. Alright, first Vulcan Science Officer is T'Pol, and that is from Enterprise. Again, I like Enterprise, it's good. 10, what alien species did Ronald Reagan say reminded him of Congress? The Klingons. That's not very polite. 11, which species was the first to discover the warp drive? It was the Vulcans. They developed warp capabilities around the 9th century BC Earth time, not Vulcan time. Long before the Klingons in the 9th century AD, the Borg in the 15th century, and humans in the 21st century. Also, our timeline is behind because we still have not done this. Like, we still don't have this. 12. Which Star Trek actor helped to create the Klingon language? This is interesting. James Doohan. The language was first mentioned in the original Star Trek episode Trouble with Tribbles, but is not heard until the motion picture. According to the actor who spoke the lines, Mark Leonard, James Doohan recorded the lines he had written on a tape, and Leonard transcribed the recorded lines in a way he found useful in learning them. Interestingly, by Star Trek 3, which is Search for Spock, Search for Spock. I know it's not the whale one because that's 4. I think it's Search for Spock. Anyway, there was a guy who he was like a linguist and a writer, and he actually created the Klingon language. Klingon language is a speakable language. Like, it's actually functional. It's guttural, but it's functional. 13. Which character was adopted by the Vulcan ambassador Sarek? Michael Burnham. And if you haven't seen Discovery, definitely do. The CBS All Access. I think we have the DVDs now, too, that it's been a little bit. Very good. I really enjoyed it. 14. Oh, I love this one. What actor from Star Trek the original series lost his right middle finger during World War II is James Doohan. Look at him being a tiny baby right there. He also was shot. He's actually Canadian. He stormed the beaches at D-Day, was shot. There are all these stories about him like stealing enemy planes and taking off and doing like trick shots. Like, he was wild in World War II. Look at him. He's a baby. I can't deal with it. Also, Julie here at the Pal Branch, her mom is a big Star Trek fan and she has met him, and I'm pretty upset about it. Also, apparently his ashes may be aboard the space station. When he passed, his family, there's a rumor that his family asked somebody aboard the space station to put his ashes in space and to scatter some, and the rumor is they did. So, I don't know, Snopes.com, look it up. They're like, maybe happened. All right, Lieutenant Uhura's first name is Nyota, which is Swahili for the stars. That's pretty cool. 16, the birthplace of Leonard McCoy. My favorite is Georgia. Obviously, it was going to be somewhere in the South. The weapon that Kirk and Spock used when they fought for possession of T'Pring during the Ponfar is the Lerpa. The woman who plays T'Pau in this episode, I looked it up this week, is actually Romanian. So her accent is crazy in this episode. She's amazing. She's got to be like 100 when they, like... Also, if you can hear the song in your head right now, you've seen Star Trek. If Edith Keeler doesn't die in the city on the edge of forever, the Nazis will win the war. Oh, that episode's so good. 19, that's Spock's quarters. You can tell because he's got the thing they shake in the Ponfar episode and that weird harp thing. I was trying to find one where they showed his cool, like, 3D chess set, but I couldn't find one. It's there somewhere, though. And that's Bones' quarters. I don't think they ever showed it in any... Maybe, like, at the door, but I don't think they ever showed the inside of Bones' quarters on any other episode. And that is the man trap, I believe. So, how did you do? 0 to 20, you're a yeoman. 20 to 40, you're a science officer. And if you got over 40, you are a Starfleet captain. Thanks for playing, everybody. Please join us again next week. As always, if you have ideas or theme suggestions for trivia, you can email me at askpowell@delawarelibrary.org.